Friday said the Supreme Court had highlighted the fact that lawmakers were not talking about eliminating speech. We're actually reducing the risk imposed by a foreign adversary to manipulate communications and steal data from the American people, the congressman said. What are they going to do with our data that what's his name? Screech. Zuckerberg isn't doing? What are they going to do with our data? I mean, I don't know. I love our Saturday talks with you for years, says Desert Dweller. When I used to be on the Saturday, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Desert Dweller, when I used to do the weekend news on CNN, I was a Saturday and Sunday night guy. Hi, Don, I love you. I love you guys. Hi. Russia used Facebook. Yeah, but look, there are ways, and all they have to do is hire people to fix that. There are ways they can fix that. They can just make TikTok. What the government should do, I believe, is use their leverage to get TikTok to make sure that there are stronger checks or parameters on the information given. Welcome to the Elimination America cruise. Screech, LOL, says MEE. He died. He looked like Screech. And then he had on that same outfit when he went to speak to Joe Rogan. Yeah. So, Screech, I'm done laughing my ass off. I mean, doesn't he? That's what you guys said the other day, that homeboy looked like Screech. What is that? Was his hair always that curly? Is that why he kept it short? Or does he have a perm? Should we put it up? Nikki, you can you do a poll? If any of the moderators are on TikTok, if any of the moderators are there, do a poll on TikTok. Does Mark Zuckerberg have a perm? Now, if any of you going back in the day, does anybody remember Party Perm? A party perm that my friends used to do you guys remember a party perm? That's only for people who are of a certain age to remember a party perm. And that was basically when people did their own perms at their house. And that burned out a lot of people's hair. And so party perm. That was like you had a party. There it is. Look, I know I'm not crazy, okay? Here it is. Check it out. Okay? I'm telling you, I'm not crazy. What does that say? That's a party perm back in the day. This is a party perm now, back in the day. See that? Party perm. And so you would go over to somebody's house on a Friday, Saturday, or whatever night, and you guys would have fun. They say, oh, we're going to go over, we're going to do each other's. You do a party perm. And you come back. Oh, wait a minute. Look at the pictures there. You would come back to school on Monday and people would laugh their ass off. They'd be like, what happened? Did you get a party perm? This shit is fucked up. Yeah, the party perm with that mullet was the shees. Some people ended up looking like this on their party perm. Some people ended up looking like that with their party perm, with a mullet. Anyways, okay, I'm getting crazy. Let's go back. Let's talk about the business. So make sure you hit the screen, smash the likes, please, so that more people. Thank you for the Galaxy. Thank you for the Galaxy. I'm not sure who sent me the Galaxy, but I really appreciate it. Don, answer our question. Are you still friends with Chris Cuomo? I haven't spoken to Chris. So that should answer your question. Okay, so smash the screen, make sure you hit the likes and stuff, and the hearts, because it affects the algorithm. And guys, make sure you subscribe if you're on YouTube. Even if you're on TikTok, make sure you subscribe over on that channel, and you get the full experience, and you too can have your comments on the screen, and I will respond to you. Okay, so let's talk. So everybody's weighing in. Let's go inside of the courtroom. This is, what is this? Is this a full screen headline of TikTok? Nikki, what is that? Is that it? What is this thing that says full screen? Okay, live updates. Supreme Court poised to uphold law that could ban TikTok in the United States. So that's what that is. Okay, the court appears likely to uphold a ban, that law. Yesterday, the Supreme Court grappled over a law that could determine the fate of TikTok, the widely popular social media platform that has about 170 million users. Thank you, Bobby. Did you send that? Well, Bobby sent a rose. Somebody sent that to a galaxy. Thank you. 170 million users. Congress enacted the law out of concern that the app, whose owner is based in China, is susceptible to the influence of the Chinese government and pose a national risk. Do you think so? The measure would effectively ban TikTok from operating in the United States unless its owner, ByteDance, sells it by January 19th. What is today, guys? What is it, the 10th, 11th? Today's the 11th. That's 8 days away. 8 days away, we may not have the TikTok. Come on. Are you kidding me? While the justices across the ideological spectrum asked tough questions of both sides, the overall tone and thrust appeared to suggest greater skepticism toward the arguments by lawyers for TikTok and its users that the First Amendment barred Congress from enacting the law. Brett Kavanaugh, you know Justice Kavanaugh, right? Remember we said with Squeak and Squeegee and Squeak and Pookie when he was testifying when he wanted to become justice? And Pee-wee and T-twee, those were his friends in college. Justice Brett Kavanaugh focused on the risk that the Chinese government could use information TikTok is gathering on tens of millions of American teenagers and 20-somethings to eventually develop spies, turn people, blackmail people when they grow older and go to work for national security agencies or military. Okay, Brett Kavanaugh. Here's Brett Kavanaugh. Listen, Justice Kavanaugh.
And the president were concerned.
Back it up to the beginning, Nikki. We missed the first word. Thanks.
The president were concerned that China was accessing information about millions of Americans, tens of millions of Americans, including teenagers, people in their 20s, that they would use that information over time to develop spies, to turn people, to blackmail people, people who a generation from now will be working in the FBI or the CIA or in the State Department. Is that not a realistic assessment by Congress and the president of the risks here?
Well, Your Honor, I'm not disputing the risks. I'm disputing the means that they've chosen. One
okay, pause, please. Pause, Nikki,
to address that. All of this user
to turn people when they go, is that, I don't know, is that a real threat? When people go into the CIA, they get older and they're going to do things, maybe work for the government. Maybe, I don't know. Tim, I think Boomer wants to go out. I took him out, but I think he wants to go. Maybe work for the government. That's a hypothetical. Do you think that's a good reason for them? Do you think that these people actually know what the Tic Tac is? Because remember Tic Tacs, they're probably like, what is a Tic Tac? You think they really know what TikTok is? Or they understand TikTok? You think they've spent time on the app? Surely not. That was a problem with a lot of these guys did not know what social media is. So this is Noel Francisco, the lawyer for TikTok and the parent company ByteDance. Let's go.
data sits on data servers in Virginia controlled by Oracle. I'm not talking about the National Security Agreement. What I'm talking about is a law that simply says to TikTok Incorporated and its U.S. employees, you cannot share that user data with anybody. You can't give it to ByteDance. You can't give it to China. You can't give it to Google. You can't give it to Amazon. You cannot give it to anybody under threat of massive penalties. They never even considered that most obvious alternative. And so whether you apply intermediate scrutiny or strict scrutiny, it's not a least restrictive means test, but you got to at least consider the most obvious alternative.
So you acknowledge the risk that Congress and the president were concerned about. You're just saying the means they chose to address that risk were incorrect.
So I
not
have
permissible.
I certainly acknowledge the risk, but I think there are lots of reasons, not just the one I just gave, but there are lots of reasons why that risk still can't justify the law. When it sits alongside of the impermissible covert manipulation risk, I think it falls under Mount Healthy. It's no different if they came in and said, we passed this law, one for data security.
I understand that, but just on the data collection, that seems like a huge concern for the future of the country.
Oh, God. Yeah, but what about the folks who have our information now? Can't they give it away or sell it to folks? I don't know. I'm just saying. Or even if the folks who own the companies here in the United States. I mean, look what's happening with the people who own the social media companies here. It's not like it's some great, folks who are trying to make everybody else wealthy through their thing. I'm not sure if he wants that. She's just pacing, but so I'm not sure. I mean, but look at the owners, the American owners of these companies. What do you think about them? TikTok SCOTUS lawyer says U.S. has no interest in stopping propaganda. Let's listen to see what he's talking about there.
Based from beginning to end. It applies only to social media platforms that have user-generated content, except for business, product, and travel reviews. Within that content-based universe, it singles out a single speaker for uniquely harsh treatment. And it does so because the government fears that China could, in the future, indirectly pressure TikTok to disseminate foreign misinformation and propaganda. Finally, the act can't satisfy any standard of scrutiny. The government has no valid interest in preventing foreign propaganda. And its fallback that it seeks merely to prevent covertness makes no sense, since that could be addressed with a risk disclosure.
Right.
The
That's what I
government's real
said.
target rather
Pause,
is
please.
the speech itself.
Okay, so
It's fear that
it feels
American-
to me like if they could, like I said, the government could put pressure on. I'm watching these things. I can see in the reflection in the door there, the images coming in from California behind me. It's, oh, jeez. But it seems to me the government can put some sort of pressure. They can add some sort of more restraints, more parameters for ByteDance rather than selling it. You guys Musk is having his security access reviewed too. Yes, says someone on TikTok. The Chinese will learn how to insult others in English, says Mary Helen. The propaganda is rampant on Fox, says Exhausted. The government wants to control our every move, says Maria Kitan. Let that dog go out, says Kilt Chris. Now, I think the dog was hungry because now they're being fed. Whose dog? My dog, Annette. They want to ban TikTok to take away from global information being shared, says Eat Like an Arab. Okay, but is our information that secure with Americans? I'm just saying, how many of you are on these devices and you say something and then you open your phone and you're like, wait a minute, I had not, that's such a random thing that I talked about, and then there's an ad for it. You don't think that's weird? Where do you think that's coming from? And these are US companies. Come on, you tell me that has not happened to you. Or you turn it on, even if you're like on the YouTube or wherever, everywhere. If you're like, on the YouTube, on the TV, like an ad will pop up. I'm like, wait a minute, what? How did that happen? I was talking about, jacks, when we used to play jacks in elementary school. And all of a sudden, here's the new jacks for the 2000s. And you're like, wait a minute. Now tell me they're not all in our business. Okay, keep going, please.
Even if fully informed, could be persuaded by Chinese misinformation. That, however, is a decision that the First Amendment leaves to the people. Given that the government's data security rationale cannot independently sustain the act, it is also grossly under-inclusive and ignores the most obvious, less restrictive alternative, simply banning TikTok Incorporated from sharing any sensitive user data with anyone.
Interesting. This is someone on TikTok. Someone named Twonk is trying to get into to be like a co-host of the show. Weird. Anyway, how is lemon not on lemonade, says Teresa. Ha ha ha, Teresa. Cute. Yeah, Congress just wants I don't know, what is it? Isn't iPhone made in China? Yeah, they're owned by American, but they're made in China. That's the thing. Like a lot of these things. So I don't know why, like the weird thing, I don't know the distinction with TikTok. Okay? I don't know. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson on this, she says it's not a First Amendment case. She said it's not, or at least responding to that. Let's go. Let's hear it.
I'm seeking your clarification.
Sure.
The problem I think you're articulating is that you want to use ByteDance's algorithm and
Yes.
therefore associate with ByteDance, and Congress has prohibited that by requiring divestiture. So isn't this really a right of association case under the First Amendment?
I think it's both, Your Honor. I do think that is a component of it. We want to use the algorithm that we think reflects the best mix of content. That's the algorithm that reflects the best mix of content. What this law says is we can't do that unless ByteDance exercises a qualified divestiture. But I also think more directly what this law does is it says that TikTok Incorporated, if ByteDance doesn't exercise a qualified divestiture, you have to go mute. You cannot speak at all.
No, I don't think it says that, though. I mean, if TikTok were to post-divestiture or whatever, pre-divestiture, come up with its own algorithm, right? Then when the divestiture happened, it could still operate. It doesn't say TikTok you
I
can't
think that's
speak.
theoretically correct, Your Honor, but I
Right,
think that
but-
also underscores the content-based nature of the restriction.
No,
We
but
have to change our
the
speech.
fact that that's true suggests that you're wrong about the statute being read as saying TikTok, you have to go mute. Because TikTok can continue to operate on its own algorithm, on its own terms, as long as it's not associated with ByteDance. So isn't this really just all about association?
Your Honor, I think it is partly about association, but I'm going to take another shot at explaining why it's not just about association.
Okay.
So is this really about TikTok? No, here's a question. Is TikTok really TikTok without that ByteDance algorithm that everyone has gotten used to? Right? Without the algorithm that's not owned by an American oligarch who wants to spread certain rhetoric. Is it really TikTok, ByteDance's algorithm? Will it be No, it is not, says Noto Matto, please. Beauty Enda. No, it's not. Right? Is it really TikTok without the ByteDance algorithm? Because that algorithm is a thing that makes it that people like. And so ByteDance owns that. And it has, what's the word I'm looking for? It's their copywritten material. It's the information that they have that makes people like go, boy, this TikTok thing is really good. Is there some jealousy here? I don't know. I'm just asking. So is it, guys, ask me. Propriety. Thank you, Nini. I'm so tired. Nini, you're the best. That's what I said. They have priority. That's what I meant. You got me. You got me. I appreciate you, Nini. It's proprietary. That's like, someone coming in and say, look, you can be on the Don Lemon channel, but somebody else does a show and you're like, you're not Don Lemon. I hear that all the time, by the way. Like, I don't watch because it's not you. Or I watch because it's you. You can put right, you can try to do a TikTok thing, but it is that proprietary algorithm that ByteDance came up with, whatever magic they used, whatever fairy dust they poured in that algorithm is the reason that you're all on it, you love it, and that you are kind of hooked on it, right? Am I wrong? Please let me in, Don. Who's asking me for that? Matt, I don't know. Proprietary, thank you, Stephanie. But do you understand what I'm saying? It's like everybody has a French fry. there's only one McDonald's French fry. Right? Everybody is a French fry, but there's only one McDonald's French fry. There's only one, I love me a Whopper. There's only one Whopper. There's only one, Big Mac or whatever it is that you like. There's only one that tastes like that, no matter what people try to do. Right? There's one Chipotle. There's one Wendy's. I know, look, I shouldn't be shouting out Chick-fil-A because, they're not real friends of the gays. But those nuggets, they are good. That chicken sandwich over at the whatever they're putting on, I think they put pickle juice on it to make it taste as good. And those fries over there, woo! But not everybody can do that. You said that's marketing. That's not no. That's not marketing. That's in the cooking, baby. But I'm just saying that's in whatever formula or that they have come up with, whatever recipe that they have come up with. So somehow ByteDance has come up with a recipe or a formula that people love. And so, maybe someone else will be able to replicate that, but it's a chance. It's risky. American company wants to buy the algorithm from ByteDance, and if I was ByteDance, I'd be like, hell no, sorry, that's ours. Like Whitney said in that thing, that's mine. You better lay low. You guys don't even know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, hey, that's mine. So, yes. All right, let's get back to this. So as you know, look, the saving grace in all of this might be the person that some of you think are the orange menace, right? That you call him. Because he knows that if it wasn't for social media, he probably would not be going back to the Oval Office, going back to the White House, and he would be facing possibly some jail or prison time. I'm just saying. That's Donald Trump. Donald Trump has said he likes TikTok. He said that before, but here he is weighing in on TikTok.
How do you plan to stop the ban on TikTok next month?
We'll take a look at TikTok. I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok because I won youth by 34 points. Mm-hmm. And there are those that say that TikTok has something to do with that. Now, Joe Rogan did, and some of the other people that were recommended by my son Barrett, he knew names. I said, who is that? Tell me, who's that? Dad, you gotta be kidding. I can't believe you don't know. And I did those interviews, and it was actually sort of cute, if you want to know the truth. But we did them, and that had an impact. But TikTok had an impact, and so we're taking a look at it. But
so he's talking about two things there. He's talking about like interviews with Theo Vaughn and Aiden Ross and Rogan, all those things that he wouldn't, and Lex Friedman that he wouldn't normally do, but because Barron is a young person, they don't watch TV. Donald Trump is of the television generation, and so while he loves the television because it holds a certain cachet for him, right? Remember, he made his bones. The reason I believe the big reason that he's president. Is because of the Celebrity Apprentice. What television gave that fake aura to him. That's not because he's not really a great businessman, but it presented him in the light as if he's a great businessman, right? You're fired. And so he has this thing for television. So television is waning now, right? It still has look, don't get me wrong, television still has a cachet. It is still important, but not as important as it used to be. And the young people don't even watch it anymore. And so while Trump is watching TV, Barron is in these here streets on TikTok. I would assume he's on, the gram, probably on YouTube. So he knows all these people. And he knows these platforms. And he said, Dad, you need to do this. And guess what? He won. In large part because of it. He got that bro vote. He got the college kids. Because of it. And so TikTok, he may get in there and lobby and say, don't do it. Don't do it. So maybe we'll keep our TikTok because of Donald Trump. We shall see. Guys, I got to update you on these fires, okay? they believe that people are setting these fires. As we're looking to, there's a video right there. Oh, and I don't have the remote. Do I have the remote for the television? I don't have it over here because I know you guys love it when I spin the TV. By the way, they don't even make that television anymore. I bought 2 of those TVs because I didn't want to put a TV on the wall. And so I bought a television. This television spins just like your phone. You can flip it around just like a cell phone. So like when I go on social media on that, it looks just like it looks on my phone. It's really cool. Okay, and then I'm going to show you what's in my TikTok box in a second. Okay, so here's the thing. So this is California, and we're looking at, this is Pacific Palisades. They have finally been able to get the water back out there. It's crazy, right? I'm talking a lot to my YouTube folks. I know that a lot of you live out there. Maureen is out in California. She is, Maureen, you're up in the Pacific Northwest. You're up in like near the San Francisco area, sorry, near Silicon Valley, I think. But this is happening near Los Angeles, or in Los Angeles, the surrounding area. So TikTok has a video of people setting fires. That's what they believe, that some of this is arson. Take a look at this. It's crazy shit. Can we make it louder, Nikki?
This Hills fire, because that was started in a parking lot. It's going to come over here and light up this area.
Oh my gosh.
If we can
No,
make
this
it louder,
is
it'd be
crazy.
great.
I can't even believe it because I'm like
a 30-year-old guy, you know.
crazy because I'm like, how does a fire jump literal cities?
I know, I can understand there, but all the way over to
Exactly.
Hills,
That doesn't make any sense.
that-
Okay.
all right,
Thanks for letting me know, guys.
yeah.
Crazy. So what they were saying is they saw these people spreading these fires, and the police were there, and they arrested him. And they were saying, the neighbors were saying, put it down, and then they called the cops. But they believe, again, not 100% sure, but they believe that these fires, many of them, were it's arson. Can you imagine? They believe that it's arson, that people set these fires. Because they were wondering, how did it jump from here to here to here to here? And then everybody's getting blamed for all these fires. Like the governor's catching hell for them. The mayor's catching hell. I don't know if the mayor's going to survive. But I tell you what, Gavin Newsom, the governor, is out there pounding the pavement, and he's trying to change the narrative about him, and he's trying to tell people what's really going on. He was on Pod Save America responding to Trump's claims about him, saying that he's responsible and all this water stuff, that there wasn't water in the hydrants, but that he just wasn't doing his due diligence as it relates to the prevention of fire. Look at that house. Oh my God. Can you imagine? That's why I tell y'all, you can, I learned a very valuable lesson early on in life. Now, I don't know how I went to this thing and it gave me this idea about what's important. It was like a retreat. And I remember when they said, every time you get like a possession or whatever, it gives you a thrill. And then even that possession gets old. You get like a new shirt. I remember when I bought this shirt, I was like, that's so cool, I can't wait to wear it. Now it just sits in my closet. I'm like, okay, whatever, and then I'm going to give it away because it's a thing, right? I'm not saying it's not important it's not important. But you can buy a new car, and the moment you drive that new car off the lot, it begins to get old. You know what I'm saying? And you start thinking about something else. That new car will be old in time, and it won't be useful to you. So it's just a thing. The same thing with a home. It's new, it's great, or whatever. 5 minutes after you're gone from this earth, people will begin forgetting about you. 20 years after that, someone else, or 10 or 5, someone else will be living in your home, and it'll be their home. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is awful. This is terrible that this is happening to people, but it is just a possession. And I wish that everyone had insurance and they would be able to recoup all of that. But what's important, what I'm trying to say, is that they have their lives. Is that they have their lives. That's what's important. So, I'm so glad that so many people left their possessions and their things behind, and they left with their lives. Okay, and so we're thinking about them. But let me tell you, if this is some arson, that's some bullshit. That is and they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And it probably will turn out that some of this is. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Remember, look, guys, things. It's things. You get your computer gets old, you get another one. Your AirPods or your earbuds get old, you get another. You used to have to wear the big earbud, now you got the little things here. Now you got everything is a phone is on, whatever. It's just a possession, and it's going to get old, and it's going to be outdated, and it's whatever. It's just a possession. But what's important, human lives, the relationships you have with people, your loved ones, your family pets, whatever, those are things you should hug. 10 people have died. 10 people have died, and I'm sorry for 10 people have died. That's absolutely terrible. But when considering the scope of this, imagine how many people could be, and they're going to find others. Governor Gavin Newsom was on Pod Save America addressing misinformation and Donald Trump's claims. Here it is.
We're referring to in the letter, and what is the correct information?
Well, I mean, look, what the president-elect was saying about state water project and the Delta smelt somehow being culpable, somehow leading to some of the challenges that we face down here. It's words, it's a salad, it's the form and substance of fog, it's made up, it's delusional. And it's a consistent mantra from Trump going back years and years and years. And it's reinforced over and over and over within the right wing. And so it's become gospel. And it's so profoundly ignorant. And yet he absolutely believes it. It's not an ignorance on his part. It's sort of an indelible misinformation that he sort of manifested, a falsehood. And he decided to bring it into this crisis in a profoundly demeaning and damaging way. I say demeaning to the facts, demeaning to the people that were suffering and struggling, to the kids literally who were watching their schools burn down. I was just talking to a staff member, good friend, whose house was burned down, and whose 4-year-old, as they're driving away, said, "Daddy, did you get my bunny?" And I got 4 kids. No empathy, no compassion, no capacity to understand. Just a guy who wants to be understood. And that's hard because a lot of people were misled, and it's, I think, led to a lot of finger pointing and consternation at a time when we're quite literally, and I say literally because second before I was here, I just got the latest briefing, we're bringing cadaver dogs out there in some parts of the fire where people are still potentially missing, and we've already lost 11 lives.
11 lives, according to the governor. Wow. Why is Donald Trump lying so much? What's wrong with him? It's not like it's anything new. Like, I should be asking that. Like, should I even be asking that? He just lies. MAGA, aren't you tired of him lying? Aren't you tired of Donald Trump just lying and making shit up? And you just gobble it up and believe it. Why does he feel the need to do that? It must be a small person. Small. Who has to do that? Why does he have to just lie so much? Why can't he just be productive and helpful? And if you relate to that, what does that say about you that's relatable to you? That's just gross. And it's so transactional. That's the thing that I don't like about that. It's just so gross. The transactional nature of the MAGA folks. This doesn't matter, just money. This is money. Being mean, saying means trolling. It's just fucking disgusting. It's disgusting. I would rather work with or be associated with people, even if they're not like perfect or, That's why I said about the Democrats. Like, the Democrats aren't great at politicking, but some of what they do sucks. But they're not mean. They're not like just mean and they don't just want to own the Republicans and whatever. At least they're trying to have a big tent. They're not calling people, the F word, or they're not being mean to trans people. Like, why is it's just gross. And that's why I get tired of thinking, we need to understand the MAGA people. We need to understand. We don't need to understand it. They're just mean. They're just gross. They're just terribly gross. They just act upon their worst inclinations, not on their better angels. It's just mean. In order not to have that sort of sentiment about MAGA and Donald Trump in the country, I'd rather pay 10 cents more for eggs. Hell, I'd rather pay 50 cents more for eggs, just not to have to deal with the grossness, the vileness, the meanness, the selfish, that's the thing, selfish. Do you know when people act on their selfish nature, that is a psychosis? When people only act on things that are just about them and just good for them and just affects them. Someone said, Kate Gould said, $5 more for eggs. Yeah, I would rather just pay more for eggs. I'd rather even pay even a little bit more for taxes, just not to have to deal with the just selfishness, bullying bullshit in society. That's sort of like, I told you guys I was in the airport the other day and I said Merry Christmas to this lady in line. And obviously a MAGA guy, Donald Trump supporter, came and said, oh, Don Lemon, I'm surprised you're saying Merry Christmas. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm surprised I'm saying Merry Christmas. He goes, oh, do you say Happy Holidays? Like religion for you? And I said, I wanted to say to him, and maybe I did. Like, fuck you, get out of my face, you ignorant bastard. That's what I wanted to say. I didn't say that. I just said, who do you think you are to be able to come over and speak to someone like that? What gives you the feeling of entitlement that you can just come over and do that? And you know what it is? It is Trump. I'm just saying, it's just vile and disgusting. I'd rather pay more money for things. If you think that, but it wasn't about the price of eggs, so what are we talking about? Not even about that. Let me move on. Okay, so that's Gavin Newsom. Let me give you, so real quick, because I have to go, and I know Nikki has to go. So let me give you some information here. I want to give you some fact checks before we get out of here, okay? First, let me give you, these are the celebrity homes that have been lost. I know that you guys, but I don't, a lot of folks' homes have been lost, but this is some celebrity homes. Check this out. That was Thank You for the Galaxy. That was Miles Teller, Anna Faris, Adam Brody, Eugene Levy's home, Paris Hilton's home, Anthony Hopkins. Anyway, Miles Teller and his wife again, Kaylee, John Goodman. Again, so it's repeating, Anna Faris. So those homes are gone. A lot of celebrity homes are gone. And let's see, another thing that I want to show you, because I'd love to give you a fact check. So there's some Good Samaritans helping people move out of their homes. Let me just say, okay, I gave it away, but I was going to say, if you look at this video and tell me what's the first thing that comes to mind when you see these people carrying this stuff. Here it is. What do you think? Some looting, right? It wasn't looting. That spread around the internet because it was some black kids, young black people, young men, helping this woman move her possessions out of her home to try to save them. And they were called looters. Guess who was doing it the most? The folks that I just mentioned. Guess who's doing it the most? Look at these looters, these oh my God, they're black, they have to be looters. They were good Samaritans helping someone. Don't judge a book. Don't be fooled by the okie doke. They were not looting. That video falsely spread that those young people were looting. I would sue. Fact or fiction about the fire? Please, here it is. Let's give the fact versus fiction.
You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish.
I can't believe I have to say this, but no, Gavin Newsom is not diverting water that would be used for fires for a fish. What Trump might be referring to here when he says water restoration declaration is
He's
possible
lying.
to deliver water to the Central Valley from Northern California in 2020. But
He's lying,
let's break
TikTok.
it
He's
down.
lying
First,
about all of
according
this
to
shit.
experts, there is no connection between this and the fires at all. This has nothing to do with empty hydrants or reservoirs, which, by the way, were
Lying.
Secondly,
Smash the
there
screen,
was nothing
guys.
for Newsom to
Hit the
sign
hearts.
here.
Thank you
It
for
was
the
a
galaxies.
declaration
I
of
love
the
you.
bill.
Did I
If you
reach my
want to get
goal
into it,
yet?
there was a legal
My
challenge
galaxy
to prevent
goal?
the systems from being destroyed, but again, not really related to the fires at all.
Oh, close.
Newsom
Come on,
has
y'all.
not
We're
kept
close.
water from coming
We're
from
10
NorCal
away,
to
11
SoCal.
away.
Oh, so now you want FEMA. Trump took to Truth Social to blame Biden, saying that there was no money left in FEMA. But Biden literally just signed a bill in December that put $27 billion into the disaster relief fund. I don't really know how much clearer we can be that Trump made this up. As a side note, MAGA has famously wanted to gut FEMA and spread conspiracy theories during Milton and Helene that made it harder for people to get help. So people keep sharing this post that Mayor Karen Bass cut the LA Fire Department.
Thank you, guys.
budget by
Okay, what do we have
$17 million a
now?
month
10
before
more?
Fires, but this needs some context. The
10
negotiations
more
about the fire
galaxies.
department's
We can
budget were
do
still
it.
ongoing at that
Galaxies.
point. According to a memo,
I like to
though,
reach
she'll ultimately
goals.
get an additional $76 million. So it's actually an
I'm too poor for galaxies. How much do galaxies cost? I just like them. Are they really more expensive? I need to figure this out. I don't know that much about TikTok. I just thought it's fun if you send galaxies. Are they expensive?
The only people capable of fighting
Okay, if they're
fires.
expensive, I had no idea.
Has made moves to make the fire department more inclusive, but it's not excluding anyone.
What does
from
a
becoming
galaxy
firefighter.
cost?
You'd think that you'd want all the help you can get. Believe it or not, these are only some of the lies that we have to combat as the fire spreads. Because heaven forbid we actually look at the thing that scientists have been warning us about for years that could lead to extreme weather changes and instead just continue to destroy the environment without thinking that there might be any consequences.
So here's the biggest issue with wildfires, right? Naturally spread wildfires. It is climate change, okay? All the people are like, oh my God, they're terrible, and Gavin Newsom didn't do this, the governor and the mayor is doing that now. I've had my say about the mayor. The optics were bad that she wasn't there. The fires were not her fault. But the buck does stop with her, and she's gonna have to answer questions about why weren't you here, whatever. Gavin Newsom will have to answer questions about fire prevention and all of that. But all of the lies that's coming from Donald Trump is Jesus effing. I shouldn't say that about Jesus, but you know what I mean. Like, just stop it. He's got to can you know that when someone always has to constantly put someone else down, that means that they are so insecure about themselves, right? They're small people. They're like inside is, gross. So that was a fact check. Now, one more thing before we go, okay? So before I go, everyone's been wondering what Donald Trump, a lot of people, I shouldn't say everyone, what Donald Trump and Barack Obama were talking about at the funeral. I saw this on TikTok, by the way, a lip reader, and here's what she said, and I love it.
And if you could, maybe, you have to always help people, even if they're unhappy. But you gotta be sure if they're happy. You have to pour outwards, always. Hey guys, Nina here. I've been tagged so many times to lip read this video. It's going viral, over 14 million views. I've been contacted by 2 news stations about it. This is alleged. There's no way for me to know 100% that this is what's being said. That's not how lip reading works. That being said, this is my best lip read of the clip. I believe that they're talking about something having to do with not being able to please everyone. What I imagine is that as 2 presidents, 2 different types of presidents completely, they're talking about how, no matter what, there's always some group of people, whatever, that they can't please. I saw a video talking about a forensic lip reader who supposedly lip read this and was reading something about chores, like it being a chore. I personally just don't see that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Okay, so I asked her to be on the show. So I sent her a DM on the TikTok. So I would love for her to be on the show, okay? So guys, if you're in that look, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you do our memberships and but the what do you call them? Subscribers. Crazy. It's going crazy. So thank you so much for that. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. In less than a month, we've gotten almost 40,000 people. Everyone's like, what is going on? We don't know. We know that you just must be loving us, okay? And so here's what we're gonna do, all right? So thank you guys that's our conversation regarding the news. I hope you feel that you're caught up, okay? As we watch the fires and all that stuff. All right, so can I show you what I got from the TikTok shop? Oh my gosh, man. I'm gonna show you guys what I got from the TikTok shop. Let's see if I can do this. All right. Can you still hear me? You can still hear me, right? I want everybody to see this. Make sure my address is not on there. And I don't have any scissors. I need some scissors and I don't have any. Do I have a pen or anything? No, I'm gonna have to use my brute strength here to open this. And I'll tell you why I did it. Because I am kind of a nerd, okay? I like to do nerdy things. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit so you can see it. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. I like to do nerdy things. And like even when I go on like a fancy vacation, I still like to do nerdy things. And so this is what I got on the TikTok. This is my present to myself for Christmas. All right. Oh, let's see this side. You guys ready? And we're gonna do it tonight. Check it out. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see that? It is a karaoke machine. I know you guys think I'm crazy. I am such a nerd, but I got this on the TikTok shop. It's a karaoke machine, and I cannot wait to see how it works and if it works or whatever. And so I had a little one when I was a kid. We had this thing, and I've been wanting one ever since. I love to karaoke. Do you think I'm weird? Do you guys think I'm crazy? But I love to. Tim and I went, our friends took us on a cruise last summer. We were in the middle of the Mediterranean in Italy, doing karaoke on this fancy boat from one of our fancy friends. But check this out. So right? Isn't that fun? Do you guys want to come over and karaoke with me? Okay. So make sure you guys, look, I know you guys think I'm weird. I'm having fun. I love this channel. I love being able to do this with you guys. Anybody want to come over? Would you guys, maybe we should have like a karaoke party somewhere and all meet up. Because I love to do karaoke. Sorry. And I like board games and whatever. I'm just a big old nerd. Sing Lionel Richie songs. Yeah, I'm going to sing some songs. And I'll tell you guys how it works. I'll get some video, how it works. I'll get some video doing it. And I know you guys think I'm crazy. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry about being a big old nerd. Okay. Pardon me for doing that. Tim, are you ready to karaoke?
Yeah, what's my song?
What's our song? I don't know. My go-to karaoke song is White Wedding. Hey, little sister, what have you done? Because it's easy to sing until you get. What do you think?
Oh, this is great. I can't wait to use it.
You don't like to karaoke? You didn't have fun?
I hate karaoke.
You hate it?
Yeah.
Tim hates karaoke. Look, karaoke speakers.
I'm sure the neighbors are going to love this.
I know, but we'll have a dinner party and we'll invite people over and we're going to do karaoke. And also, it does a dynamic LED light show. USB inputs allow you to connect. FM radio, karaoke compatible, microphone, lithium batteries, power, blah, 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 blah. 2x8-inch dynamic speakers. True wirelessly technology connect. Yeah. I don't know. I think you can just plug it in. But if we need batteries, we can go over to the to the Target and get some batteries. Okay, guys, thank you. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Go subscribe to the channel. Go become a, oh man, look how many lemon heads. Like almost everyone on here is a member. Love it, love it. All right, let me read some of these because I got okay, Nikki, I know you have a dinner party to go to. Where's Gus? Oh shit. Barkley knocked my light over. Do you guys, here's Gus. Can you put the light back? You have to put it down. Sorry. Barkley went over. He's being naughty. Barkley is Dennis the Menace. Look at Gus. Do you guys remember how Gus was on his, we thought, deathbed? There he is. Say hi, Gus. Say hi, Gus. He is barking and all mean as ever. And so Gus is better. And he's got groomed. So he's a little old man. Anyways, he like follows Tim around like crazy. He loves Tim. Okay, and then so there's an update on my sister. I don't think we have time to run all of it, Nikki. You have to go to a dinner party, right?
I mean, I'm the one making dinner, so I'm not really going anywhere, but I can play it. I have it in the system.
Are you sure? I don't want to put you out.
No, it's totally fine. I can play it.
Okay, so here's an update for those of you who are on the YouTube. Gus, don't drink my water. For those of you who are on the YouTube, here is an update on my sister and just how much my sister loves TikTok. Can you boost the volume, Nikki? It's low on, I think, the volume coming. I want the people on listening on TikTok to be able to hear what my sister says about it. Okay, so you guys
I have it as high as it is right now.
Crappers.
Hopefully that's good.
Okay, let's go. I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna open up my karaoke machine while you're listening to my sister. So go ahead. Here she is, an update on my sister who is now out of the hospital. Everybody gets to hear it. Before it was just the lemon heads and the lemon legends, right? Who got to hear this a couple days ago, right, Nikki? And then so you're all gonna get to hear it. They had an exclusive first. Here it is.
What do you say to everybody who's worried about you?
I would like to reach out and say thank you to everyone who prayed for me, because those prayers must have really worked. I was at death's door.
You were almost a goner.
I was a goner.
Did you even know?
No, I didn't know it until I was intubated.
Intubated.
Yeah.
Have you been on TikTok?
No.
Yes, you have. Are you reading the comments?
Yes, I read them all the time.
Are you commenting now?
Not like I did before. Gotta step on my game back. And because I'm not on any other social media. And the only reason I do TikTok is to watch those. It's the only reason I watch it.
Why did you get off of Facebook?
I got off every social media, any affiliation to help Donald Trump and the rest of those goons. I got all of it. Got off Facebook, Instagram. I'm no longer on that. So don't look for me there.
Just on
TikTok.
How long have you been telling me to get on TikTok?
I have been telling you to get on TikTok for years, and you wouldn't do it.
Now,
it's a safe place for me. It's a place that I've been on, a platform I've used for several years, and I've never ever been hacked on TikTok or only on Facebook and Instagram.
You were hacked?
I was hacked on Facebook and Instagram several times.
But not on TikTok?
Never. And it's a safe place. Like I ran into this girl, where was that? That'd have been yesterday. And she's recognized, I told her who my brother was and to watch him on Live and Pop. She said, oh, my son always watched Dawn. He's 13 years old. They trying to take away Black history, and that's why I let him sit and have his Black history moment.
On TikTok?
With Dawn Lemon.
Oh, with me? Are Are you surprised at how popular I got on TikTok?
No. And it's gonna grow even more. You just started. It takes people 4 years to get to where you are at this point on TikTok. So imagine 2 years from now, how popular you gonna be on TikTok.
You just became a member last night on YouTube.
I just became a member last night because I thought I didn't know how to set it up.
And you said you wanted to support what?
The mainstream media. Independent media. And I'm gonna give to it because it's a good cause. And it's the only thing that's gonna keep our voices strong and not lay down and listen to all that Fox News shit and all of that other fake news. They call us fake news, we're the real news because we are exposing them. And that's the only way that we're gonna break through this. I don't need the money and Dawn don't need the money. It's to help us as Americans. Independents, I don't care if you're Republican.